Hi, I want to talk about one of my favorite topics: desires, goals, dreams, aspirations, whatever you want to call it. I use the term desire in my coaching world. And desire is so interesting because just a couple of years ago, if someone asked me what my dreams were, what my desires were, I probably would have had trouble articulating it or putting it down on paper. And I think a lot of times, especially as women, we know the goals and dreams of the people in our lives, like our partners, our children, our friends, our family. But when it comes to actually knowing your own dreams and desires, it's easy to come up short in that department simply because we don't really live in a society that celebrates that. There's a lot of celebration around following the status quo, following the norm, like staying in line, those types of things. So when it comes to desires, the first thing that I recommend to my clients is the simple act of creating a desire list every day, just like 5 things. And this might sound really overwhelming at first, but a desire can be a really simple, easy thing. It can be what you desire for dinner that might be like outside of the usual or the norm. It could be that you desire for a conversation with your boss or your coworker to go really smoothly. And then they can get bigger too. It could be a desire around changing life paths and changing careers, going after a career that you'd always dreamed of, starting a business, traveling, moving somewhere new and different. And so you'll notice that they'll start to build from like much more like simple things, kind of flexing that desire muscle into desires that almost scare you. And it's good for your desires to scare you. I know there's like a common quote: if your dreams aren't big enough, if they don't scare you, then they're not big enough, right? So, but when it comes to like a desire that actually scares you, that's even more reason to like tend to it every day, like you would a plant or like your child, like really allowing yourself to like nurture that desire. And I recommend sharing it with people, like allowing other people to witness you in your desire. And yeah, really like focusing in on it every day, spending time nourishing, nurturing, and meditating on it. And my clients and I, we work really deeply with desire, but often there's this piece that has to come first, which is like moving all this shit out of the way that's in between you and your desire. Often there's a ton of grief there. There's a ton of stuckness, paralysis, shame, disgust around what it is that you desire. And under that, usually like more grief, rage. And so really kind of moving your emotional range so that you can get to what's underneath, which is like the passion and the motivation to go after what you truly want and what you truly desire. So if any of this resonates with you, I would love to talk more. Desire is such an important topic. I love coaching women through desire mapping and kind of this whole kind of desire, this like desire list, mapping, and just like holding and cherishing a woman's desire like it is the most important thing in the world, because it is, and there is no force power more powerful than our desire. There's often just a lot of shit standing in the way. And so I love to help kind of clear that path or just like talk through where you're at with it right now. I know there's a lot of uncertainty right now, and just like a lot of overall anxiety and fear. So it might feel selfish to like think about your desires right now, but just know that it's actually the opposite, like permission to be selfish, because when you're actually pursuing your desire, you win, everyone around you win, like the world wins. There's this like ripple effect of you going after what's yours.